I'm Reginald Gickington, and you can call me Reggie, and today I'll be continuing a painting journey through the miniatures of Senjutsu by Swordstone Games. We'll be concluding the 4 base game heroes today, and doing the Master. Now for this particular character, I drew my inspiration from another famous elderly master of martial arts.
殘匪比你強，在你呢？廢物！
I intentionally wanted to echo the pure black and white robes of Pai Mei as depicted in Kill Bill Volume 2, though the character has a long history in wuxia films, as you can see. He's not necessarily a Japanese character, but the iconography he's created transcends culture. His powerful and wise nature is visually communicated with his stark appearance, and I want to make my master look the same. So in order to accomplish this aesthetic, we're going to start with Ghost Grey and Dawnstone. Ghost Grey is going all over the robes, and Dawnstone is going on the jacket he wears over top. I would recommend doing the entire jacket in Dawnstone, then going back afterwards to do the belt in white, as it's going to be hard to paint precisely and avoid spilling over onto the grey if you do the top coat first. We're going to do his skin and the various ropes on his belt now, which is going to be Bugman's Glow and then Rakarth Flesh for the ropes and the sandals on his feet. After doing his skin, I do his hair in Ghost Grey as well, for the same reason I did the belt the way I did in the last step. For the sword and scabbard, we're going to be using Stegodon Scale Green all over the scabbard, then Screaming Bell applied to the 3 rings around it, 2 towards the top and 1 at the bottom tip. Be sure to hit the tsuba of his katana as well. Then, on the blade, we're doing Lead Belcher like we usually do for swords. Now comes time to wash the miniature, and for this we're using Flesh Wash on all of the flesh parts, Black Wash on the hair, the blade, and the rope, and we're using a 1-to-2 mix of Black Templar and Contrast Medium to apply to the jacket. Now I actually make a mistake here, and I black wash these robes as well, hoping to increase their contrast later. What I would realize later is that the black contrasts too much, and the end result is that the robes look somewhat zebra striped. So afterwards I go back and repaint the robes in just plain Ghost Grey. For some highlights, we're going to use Ghost Grey and Dead White. Ghost Grey is going to be used to pick out some of the strands of hair on his head, and it's going to be applied to the flowers all over his jacket. Then we're using Dead White as a large dot in the center of each flower and to highlight the robes. Next up, we're going to highlight the skin using Cadian Flesh Tone, and then we're going to do a small black dot at the center of each flower using Black Templar. With the Master himself done, we're going to do the base. Buff applied all over the sand and Mechanicus Standard Grey applied on the rocks. Then we're going to use Skeleton Horde and Contrast Medium in a 1-to-1 mix applied all over the sand and blackwash on the stones. Lastly, we're going to Drybrush Buff on the sand and Dawnstone on the rocks, while we use Sick Green on the directional arrow on his base. And that's the Master. Clad in pure white robes with flowing silver hair, he really communicates age and experience, and while fierce and capable, his more subdued color palette contrasts against the student and allows the two to complement each other nicely. Have fun painting your Senjutsu miniatures, and feel free to tag me on Instagram, @ReggieGick, to show me how yours turn out. Links to my affiliated socials can be found in the description. Feel free to subscribe or like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon with another painting tutorial.